Okay, so Lori, um, earlier you said that the tantrums were getting better, and Allie's tantrums were getting better. But I'm also really interested in knowing how are your responses to the tantrums? How have they been?
Yeah, and that's why I don't know if it's just her or if it's been the way I've reacted to her. But as soon as it starts happening, I'll say, "Hey, Allie, can you tell me what's going on?" And if sometimes she's able to somewhat verbalize that, and other times she can't, and it goes into the tantrum. And at that point, I try to just move things that are hurtable, and then I just walk away and I go to my room and I sit there and I kind of try to deep breathe or breathe, not deep breathe. I try to breathe, and then I kind of listen for like, how's it going out there? And when I hear that it's getting calmer, then I go out. But there's been a couple times that I failed. Like, that was my intentions, and I didn't go there. I had a stressful day at work, and my response was, Allie, I need you to quit it. I need you to quit it. And I think those were the times when it was the full out on the ground, like, whatever. And so yeah, I think that when I go into the room and I take my time, that's when it's better.
Okay.
But I still worry. Like, right. What if, it can be dangerous to fling yourself around like that. Like,
right.
So.
And so I'm hearing is like she starts to get a little out of control, and then how you relax and you remove yourself from the situation. You go to your room, you close the door, but you're still worried about what's going on outside.
Yeah.
And then once you hear it starting to calm down, that's when you come back out. Has there ever been a time where you didn't go to your room and you weathered the storm, so to speak, with Allie?
Yeah, I mean, the times that whenever I've said, Allie, tell me what's going on, and she's still flustered, but she's been able to verbalize that I didn't do well on a test at school today, or, I'm just really tired and I just want to go to bed, whatever it may be. And she's still aggravated and upset and frustrated, but I'm just like, okay, well, what can we do to make it better? You got to get your schoolwork done, but what do you need for that to happen? And she, that seems to do better, but there's every once in a while where it's just like, I'll ask, tell me what's going on, and, it's just, she can't get there. And maybe it's when I've had a bad day, and maybe it's the way that I say it, the way that I don't know, maybe I'm just not as comforting at that time, which escalates it. I don't know.
It's definitely hard. I can definitely see where you would want to say the right thing to her, and but I still think you're doing a great job, and don't blame yourself, because we're all in this together, and you're doing the best that you can. So what I understood from that is that when you do weather the storm with her, she's more open to like explaining to you, oh, I did badly on a test, and she verbalizes things more. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, when she's able, that's where I don't know if it's whether when she's able to verbalize it to me, that I choose to stay there and talk with her, versus when she decides that she can't, and then I leave, or if it's my presence and the way that I'm presenting to her, that she chooses whether she can talk to me or not.
Okay. So you did mention that you don't know if it's you having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some techniques or ways do you think that maybe if you've had a bad day that you can just, have an easier way of talking to her?
Yeah. I think that, I don't know, that's why I wish there was some sort of activity that I could do like after work. But things are already, I'm already cutting into the evening by the time I get off, that I just want to get home and spend time with her. So I don't want to go for a walk before I get home because I'd rather walk with her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe I could go home and then instead of just jumping right into the homework, I could say, hey, you want to go for a walk real quick? And then maybe that would reduce my stress.
I think that's a wonderful idea. You hit the nail on the head there. It would reduce your stress. It's like sometimes people that drive home, on the drive home, they just listen to music and they might disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's them time.
Mm-hmm.
Using a walk right after you get home from work, with or without Allie, hopefully with, of course, that would be a good time to just, we don't have to think about homework. We don't have to think about work. We can just focus on each other and enjoying each other's company. And it's healthy.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to try that.
Yeah. So I think that for next week, I want you to try that.
Okay.
I want at least one day a week you come home and, before you get into did you do your homework or anything like that, I think that would be a great idea to just, you know what? And it might surprise her a little bit, if that doesn't happen usually, and she'll be like, oh my gosh, Mom is coming home and I don't have to immediately do my homework or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea that you came up with.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. I'm excited to try it.
And I'm excited to find out how it goes.
Thank you.
All right, Lori. Well, I think our time is up for today.
Okay.
Thanks for being you. Thanks for being a great mom. And I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being you.